Welcome to the AT Center at TCNJ. This webinar series is titled Use of Partner-Assisted Scanning, PAS, and Other Communication Strategies to Uplift Individuals with Complex Communication Needs and to Support Their Interdependence, and is presented by Molly Ziegler. Molly specializes in working with school-age and young adult individuals with traumatic brain injuries, brain disorders, and multiple disabilities to provide them with access to robust, personally meaningful communication that supports their identity, exploration, quality of life, connections with others, and self-advocacy skills. Her passion has driven her to expand her work to include training, education, and coaching of family and caregivers to develop proactive and reactive strategies to manage the individual's regulatory, pain management, and self advocacy needs in an efficient, dignified, and autonomous manner. These webinars are made possible through our partnership with the New Jersey Department of Education, Office of Special Education. The statements issued by guest presenters do not reflect the stance of the NJDOE OSE. Please use your professional judgment when implementing strategies and resources within your practice. Thank you for joining us. Now, let's listen to Molly.
Okay, everyone. So we're going to start off here by talking about how I like to start all my conversations involving communication for anyone of any ability is the Communication Bill of Rights. These are the rights we are each individually entitled to by nature of being alive and being in community. So I've bolded here the elements of the Communication Bill of Rights that I think this presentation and this kind of this corner kind of covers. So number 1, 4, 8, 9, 10, I think are really highlighted throughout the rest of the presentation, which is the right to dignity and respect in all interactions. This is huge. I love that it's number 1 because dignity and respect are really straightforward, really simple, but kind of the easiest to overlook when someone may physically appear different than we expect or are used to, or we're unsure of how to interact with them. We are, because of the way we've been socialized or how human beings tend to deal with fear and uncertainty of any kind, we might be quick to lose this, to lose the idea that we're meant to treat each and every one of us with dignity and respect. Also, the right to receive a response to all communication, even when the desired outcome is not possible. So this to me kind of speaks to when I'm working with a student, an adult, whoever, and if they are bringing something up, I am responding every time, even if my response is the same of like, oh, it's time for this. I hear you want this. It's time for this. Your communication needs to be validated. You're just being ignored. And I've found too that the more I kind of respond to this, if they're selecting the same thing, choosing the same thing, it opens up more doors in my brain to get creative of like, what other options can I offer you right now? And it helps me just with my own regulation to be like, listen, it's not a problem if I repeatedly tell you the same thing over and over again, if that is helping you get to a point where you are learning how to regulate yourself when your desired outcome is not possible, then I'm doing my job. And that this includes response to all communication, includes if I have students, they don't have their device, they're verbalizing, they're vocalizing, they're turning their head. I'm acknowledging that, I'm pointing that out. Because that is their way of engaging with the environment depending on their circumstances. So I am pointing them out, I'm acknowledging it, I am bringing them into the conversation in those instances. The right to ask for or refuse objects, actions, events, and people. Oh my gosh, the right to refuse, huge. We can't be subject to everything that's just other people think have in mind for us. This is really, really key to be able to say like, no. And again, this is all within the context of we're going to help someone be safe, eat what they need to eat, drink what they need to drink, take medicine if necessary. But like anything outside of that, let me offer you something else. Again, The right to express preferences and feelings, make comments, share opinions. This one is so huge, especially with when I see AAC that is just noun town, or it's just, we're just labeling things, which, if that is someone's preferred communication style, is like noun, 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 thing, great. But I need to make sure I'm doing my diligence of giving them a way to say something about that noun. The ball, do they want it? Are they thinking about it? Do they have a question about it? Do they not like it? Just ball isn't giving me enough. And so when I see when someone is ready to learn more about what else there is to say, to move through those developmental stages of language, it is their right that I give them that opportunity. And then the right to make choices from meaningful options. Meaningful options. That's so huge what we're talking about today. First, to do that, we got to find the meaningful options. We have to understand what are going to be the powerful things, tools, and things that we can give you in order for you to make a choice about it. So that's kind of, this number 10 right here is a really helpful way of like this really grounding to my practice of like, I'm constantly targeting this right to make a choice, their ability to choice make, how they make choices, and what meaningful options I'm exploring with them and for them of like, what options are meaningful to you in moments of need for regulation or otherwise. So this is a helpful kind of like shows me the 2 lanes in speech therapy that I'm always working on. Next. Okay. Again, this presentation is very big picture. I wanted to bring a concept called interdependence to the light. This concept is mind-blowing. It's foundational. I cannot wrap my head around a lot of this work without thinking about things this way. So I pulled these direct quotes from this article called Embracing Interdependence. But because it's just kind of a growing term being used in the disability community, so I wanted to pull from people who have actual lived experiences, disabled individuals, and, just make sure that the community itself is having a voice in the way that I perceive it in my own experience. Okay, so this article, she talks about how true independence is about having the freedom to make choices about how to live, including the choice to ask for help when needed. I love this definition of like, it totally gets away from that focus on like, can I do everything alone? That does not need to be the question we are asking ourselves day to day in our own lives. And it certainly does not need to be the question when we are talking about working with individuals who have anatomical, physical, neurological needs, in which that doing a whole lot of things alone is going to possibly not be a reality. And nor does it have to be because of this concept, interdependence. Interdependence, far from being a radical or new concept, is deeply rooted in the human experience. It acknowledges that we all rely on one another in various ways, and that this reliance is not a sign of weakness, but a fundamental aspect of being human. We have always thrived in communities, relying on one another for support, cooperation, and survival. This isn't weakness, it's the foundation of human civilization. And then I kind of summarize at the bottom here. It is our responsibility as those supporting individuals who, for any given reason, may be interdependent in the areas of gross and fine motor movement. It is our responsibility to provide them what they need. And it's really helpful for me to think about interdependence as a scale. I don't have a chart. I was kind of hoping that I could draw one up. So if anyone has any ideas, call me up. But I myself, when I'm thinking about the areas of my life, social, vocational, chores, domestic perhaps, Domestic chores, I am high up in my need for support. I need other people to motivate me to do it. I need people to help me strategize on like what cleaner to use and what order to go in. Um, but socially, I'm kind of like, oh, let me go do my thing. So again, this is just a human aspects of being human, that we will all need different amounts of help and support in different areas of life. And the fact that we all fit on that scale, no matter the way you are born, what skills you develop throughout life, is just totally game changing to me. I finished my thought here. It's our responsibility as those supporting individuals who, for any medical, anatomical, and or developmental reason, may be interdependent in the areas of gross or fine motor movement, cognition, communication, regulation, self-care. We need to perceive them through this lens. Of course, we're going to continue to work on the goal of skilled therapeutic intervention, which is to move individuals towards independence on the scale. This is also our responsibility. Just because we accept interdependence and we find it beautiful and we find it inevitable does not mean that I am not working actively. I'm like, okay, but the areas where maybe it is really valuable to you or to your family, or where growth is incredibly like possible, probable, or would be meaningful, I'm working on those areas. But when we accept the reality that due to these unchangeable factors, full independence in all areas is rarely to be achieved for any individual. Like I said, this is not a human concept. It places us all on the same scale and provides us with the opportunity to build strong, realistic support systems and see an individual with, complex needs as someone or multiple disabilities as just like part of a support system. So I think this concept is really powerful and important to introduce before we go into the more specifics of how we are supporting these individuals.
Thank you for joining us. Are you a New Jersey educator looking for support or professional development tailored to your district's AT needs? We offer free, customized training and coaching for NJ teachers, paraprofessionals, and families. From hands-on workshops to individual classroom support and small group facilitation, we're here to help. Visit us at atcenter.tcnj.edu to learn more. Have a question? Contact us at atcenter@tcnj.edu. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content on all things assistive technology.